Good morning, sports fans. How's everybody doing out there today? Welcome to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so much to get into today. Oh my goodness, here we go again on this beautiful daylight saving time ends Sunday. I'm sure a lot of you are enjoying your extra hour of sleep. Therefore, you're probably listening to the podcast version of this and not the live one, which I don't blame you whatsoever. But man, we have a lot to get into from the sports world. Let's go ahead and start things out. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've had two shows dedicated to not slapping Canelo. Like, I seriously did. Like, if you go back and look at the shows, you don't slap Canelo, and then you don't slap Canelo part 2. It's because I thought that fight was coming up that particular weekend, right after Fury Wilder. Regardless, it was yesterday. Enjoyed it, and what a freaking fight. At the end of the day, though, you know, Canelo basically just became the first ever Mexican undisputed champion. I'm not saying Mexican because of the race. I'm talking about from, like, Mexico has their first ever undisputed champion. Amazing. And mad props and love to Canelo, man. He earned it. The guy has moved up freaking weight classes, alright, to do things like beat Crusher Kovalev. And yeah, so amazing for him. Then, of course, we had a World Series this past week. I don't know if anybody noticed that. But yeah, the Braves kind of got things done. Earning another title, y'all. First one in a very long time. We're talking 25 years, basically. Or, my goodness, what is that, 26? Around there. Been a while, but they got it done. Knocking off the Astros. Amazing for them. The NFL season is officially at the halfway point. We just had one game into the other half now in the second half of the season. Pretty okay game, I guess, on Thursday night, but it was what we thought it would be a Thursday night game is. And then, of course, we got lots of great games following up today, including a Sunday night game that really has a lot on the line for both these teams. I'll explain why in a little bit. But we got all that coming up. The NHL season on the rink. Well, it's heating up, y'all. I'll tell you that right now. There are so many great games going on during this season so far. I mean, I seriously think the NHL players were just so freaking wound tight and ready to rock and roll. Yeah. Same with the NBA season. We've had some great freaking games. Soccer around the world is really beginning to become more of a, I don't know. I just love when there's more competition. So I'm loving the competition around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready and set. You are now tuned in live to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a Minnesota sports fan? If you are, you should join me, AJ, on my Thursday night podcast called Frozen Takes with AJ on IU Sports Radio. I talk about all things Minnesota sports, from the Vikings to Lynx basketball. Every week I talk about the good and the bad of sports in the land of the frozen lakes. Join me Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for your Minnesota sports show on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Shores of the Puget Sound to the rushing waters of the Columbia River, stretching across the Great Cascades, and on IE Sports Radio lives the Northwest Territory Sports Show, hosted by me, Brad Buckingham. On this show, I cover all the great collegiate and professional sport teams that we have here in the Pacific Northwest. Of course, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Mariners, Sounders, and even the Seattle Kraken. But I can't forget all of that is good in Oregon either. I got the Trailblazers, the Oregon Ducks, the Beavers, even the Timbers, and much, much more. You can listen to the show every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern, noon to 1 p.m. Pacific on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
This is correct. You definitely want to check this show out. Of course, time changed a little bit here. Daylight saving time. Making Brandon go to a little earlier time here. But it's all good. We will get that going for y'all. With that said, I think it's time to talk a little bit of soccer. Alright, you guys. I'm feeling it. I think, as I love saying, it's time to party on a Sunday morning, because that's exactly what this show is. My good buddy in the chat room, my boy, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, thank you very much for tuning in, brother, did remind me that it is decision day in the MLS today. What in the hell is decision day? Well, you're about to find out if you don't know. Today, every single team in the freaking league goes at it. Some have been eliminated a long time ago. Some are on the bubble, and others don't even care because they took care of business a long time ago, and they've been in the playoffs for a long time now. With that said, it's time to take a look at some of these games here today and the table. Who's in it, who's out, and who still has a freaking chance. The magic number today, well, in both of these here, looks like we have 7 and 1. What does that mean? Well, for today, the good old New England Revolution. When in a time where all Boston sports are kind of at a low, guess what? Boston, the soccer team of Boston, that's usually hasn't been good for, my goodness, almost 10 years now. They have been dominating in the East Coast. Amazing, you guys. The Eastern Conference has belonged to the Revolution this year. With 25 points, they lead, and they lead strong, alright? They lead well. 25 points ahead of the bubble. They are in like Flynn, alright? Next up, we have the Philadelphia Union. 13 plus 13. Yeah, safe to say, they are solid. Bulletproof. Nashville, how about this for a young team? Plus 22. This team is in, and they're ready to rock and roll. Next up here, we have your NYCFC, plus 20. They're also in the entire playoff here, okay? Atlanta, well, they are plus 7. They are also in the dance. But then we have 4 to 5 teams that are so freaking close. So close. I'm talking about goal differential, guys, with the pluses. I'm sorry, but that was the numbers. But okay, so we have here Revolution with 73, Philadelphia with 53, Nashville with 53, NYCFC with 50, Atlanta with 48, and well, only 6 get in from each conference. Orlando also with 48. And my goodness, you guys. And why the New York Red Bulls are hanging on by a thread. They have to get at least a tie and hope that Orlando loses as well as Atlanta. That's seriously the situation that the New York Red Bulls are in today. But do you want to know an even crazier situation? Would you like for me to tell you something even more nuts? Well, right behind the New York Red Bulls, there is a little team by the name of the Montreal Impact. Montreal has 46 points. Remember, it's the top 6 that go. All the way up to NYCFC is solid. The top 4 are in, but the top 5, well, the top 6, the last 2, they're on the bubble. And New York has 47, as I said. Atlanta and Orlando both have 48. Montreal has 46. So DC has officially been eliminated with 44. There's no way they can get in. But Montreal will need a victory today. Montreal will play Orlando. How crazy is this? Orlando has 48. So they can actually take care of business by themselves. This is a better situation than having to hope other teams win. The destiny is somewhat in their hands. Montreal must beat Orlando. That means Orlando gets 0 points. Montreal will then get 3 points and have 49. They get in, but they also, well, actually, they get in. But wait a minute, no. They also got to hope that New York loses. In New York today, they're taking on Nashville. Nashville has already been in. Now, let's just be real. Sometimes they're going to rest players. Nashville can really give a crap less if they win this game or not. They are in. So, is it a big chance that New York might actually win this game? Of course it is. But New York also has to hope that Orlando loses to the Impact. Isn't this fun? But we can't forget about Atlanta, you guys. Atlanta is playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati is the worst team in the league right now with 4 wins. They're 4-8-21 on the season. They have 20 points. Their season was done a long time ago, you guys. But I'll tell you right now, if Atlanta somehow loses, as Terrence says in the chat room, some teams are playing spoiler. If Cincinnati makes it happen today, oh my gosh, you guys. Cincinnati will play upsetter. Atlanta will lose. That means if Montreal defeats Orlando, Montreal is in if New York actually loses to Nashville. If New York, playing a bunch of maybe reserve players, wins this thing, well, then New York gets in. Orlando will lose, and believe it or not, the top 6 will still read. If Atlanta wins this thing, even with a victory, New York still loses and they're still out. What a freaking scenario, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. Don't forget, and the reason how I'm getting these calculations is because, of course, victories are 3 points and draws are 1. Now, it gets even crazier with draws. Draws mean that if Atlanta, and this is nuts, if everyone draws, it stays the same. If everyone loses, well, nope, no, that can't happen. That actually can't happen because, well, someone's got to win that other game, if they draw. So if we get a bunch of draws, it's basically going to be in this situation where Orlando and, let's see here, Orlando and Montreal would draw. That's 1 point apiece. Orlando's in at that point, and Montreal is out. New York then would hope that they can beat the Red Bulls, and if they win that thing, they're in. So once again, you can play with it all you want to. You don't want to take all the time in the world on the show, but you can see the situation at hand, the task at hand. This is crazy, am I right? So decision day, you guys, going on in the East. In the West, is it the same story? Let's find out. Well, Seattle has been in, but the cool part about Seattle is they're actually, well, I don't think they think it's very cool. But the number one seed is up for grabs right now. Seattle has to win today, or at least have a draw, and hope that both Kansas City and Portland lose. Actually, yeah, because they have 48. Seattle has 59, Kansas City has 58, Colorado has 58. So Colorado, Kansas City, or Seattle can be the number one seed by the end of today. By the way, Kansas City plays Salt Lake. Seattle plays Vancouver. And Colorado plays LAFC. None of those teams are freaking near the, no. Seattle, as I mentioned, my apologies. Seattle plays Vancouver. Vancouver is actually fighting right now to stay in the playoffs. They're number 6. If Seattle loses this game, Vancouver can jump up, okay, and become like freaking not fourth seed, but they can actually jump into 5th seed and hope that Minnesota loses or draws. It's incredible to think how this is going. LA Galaxy, both Terrans and my team, are freaking right outside with 47. If the Galaxy win today over Minnesota, that's it. That's the game. Because LA Galaxy will move forward with 50 points. Minnesota will lose. Galaxy automatically gets in, regardless of what Vancouver does. This is crazy because, once again, as I told you guys earlier, Seattle and Vancouver are playing. So it's kind of crazy because this game, even though you would think it's meaningless for Seattle since they're already in the playoffs, well, guess what? They have to fight for that number one seed because it's a very nice seed to have, okay? I just saying, obvious reasons. So, I love this, man. Seattle and Vancouver is going to be the game to watch. I mean, all of them are. All right, Portland, Colorado, Kansas City, they're all fighting for position, playoff position, of course. But Vancouver, Minnesota, and the Galaxy, that is it. Real Salt Lake is right outside, but they're a little too far-fetched, I believe, unless we have some draws, but even then. So right now, it's the top 7 of the Western Conference and the top 8 of the East. Who's going to get in today? We will find out. Decision Day has arrived.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
How's that for an introduction? Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Los Great! This man does amazing shows. I mean, I'm bummed that he's not going to have his shows in December because he usually takes his usual vacation there. But man, his season's going to be a fun one when he ends it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a perfect segue. Last night, I'm telling you, I had 2 shows dedicated. 2 of them. Earlier this year, well, a little bit, the week after Wilder and Fury, and then just last week, titled You Don't Slap Canelo. really fast background, during the stare down, Canelo did shove Plant. Then Plant will slap Canelo. Bad choice, Joyce. I'm sorry, but yeah. It was actually a good fight. It went 11 rounds. I didn't think it would go 11 rounds. I got to give Plant way more freaking credit because I'm just such a Canelo fan. But, well, let's just say, we can get into this fight a little bit because, man, it was a good one. Alrighty, y'all. Canelo taking on Mr. Plant. Well, Plant, I'll be honest with you, he didn't. I personally don't feel he's really fought anybody that solid. Canelo, he's kind of, gone from 154 all the way to freaking the 160s, and he also went up and knocked out Crusher Kovalev, not too long ago, like 20 pounds heavier than what he even is. So yeah, he's pretty damn good, pretty good fighter, and I just really thought he would end this thing fast. I know who Plant is, but at the same exact time, I'm like, yeah, but you're not like a big giant name. Now, Marcus will be the first one to tell you, names don't mean anything without the substance, of course. You got to be a fighter. You got to, yes, taking down names is great, but also you got to look at it when they were in their prime, or you know what I mean? You got to look at different things. But at the end of the day, Canelo certainly had much more, experience, and he is, as Marcus Lewis Great said on Gloves Off, he's the face of boxing right now. I mean, Canelo is 100% the face of boxing. Well, with that said, you guys, I didn't think it would go this far, but it did. Canelo and Plant will go into the 11th round, but man, this is where Canelo really came out in the championship rounds. He freaking drops Plant. Plant will rise to his feet. The referee will check if he's okay. He wasn't, but he kept fighting, basically. That's pretty much how it went. And ladies and gentlemen, they would continue to fight. Canelo then gets hardcore on the offensive, gives a couple more swings, Plant on spaghetti legs, drops again, and that is all she wrote. The bell had rung. It's definitely not that bell, but it is what it is, as close as I got. And ladies and gentlemen, Saul Canelo Alvarez is the first ever undisputed champion for Mexico. How amazing is this? How amazing is this? Honestly, you guys, Canelo has proven himself time and time again to be the absolute best fighter in today's game. Now, his only blemish on his record comes from a very experienced Floyd Mayweather years ago. Canelo was like 23 years old when he fought, Mayweather in his absolute prime. A very long time. It was like, 2009? I want to say. Let me take a look here. It was a while back, you guys. 2013. I'm sorry, 9. Well, I'm just saying, I will always say that there's a few questionable fights for Floyd Mayweather. Maidana. But anyway, Maidana won. But whatever. Is what it is. The first fight, Floyd Mayweather dominated the second one. But there's no... And that's a topic for another day. There's no taking away at all, ever, what Floyd Mayweather has done. And he clearly beat Alvarez back in this fight by majority decision back in 2013. But what I'm saying is now, Canelo Alvarez, man, ever since then, he hasn't lost. I mean, he's had a draw in there with Golovkin in 17, but they fought again, and, well, he would beat him. So I'm just saying, you guys, he's run through some of the biggest, baddest names. He really has, you guys. Cotto was a beast, man. I don't want to... You can't take that away from Cotto. He's probably one of, he's very underrated in the boxing history books, if you will. Of course, he's fought Canelo. He's fought Erislandy Lara, and Lara is actually pretty solid, especially for that time. He's beaten people like, once again, Golovkin, of course. He went up to freaking beat Kovalev and take his title, you guys. Yeah, how do you like that? 2 years ago. Okay? The man is a beast. He beat Saunders not too long ago. And here he is again. He's beat great names, you guys. Another one, Daniel Jacobs here. I'm just saying, this man is a freaking beast, and he's proven himself to be absolutely of the elite in boxing. So, as it goes, man, ladies and gentlemen, once again, at the age, and I love throwing this out there, at the age of, what is he, like, 31? Yeah, the age of 31 years old, Canelo Alvarez has shown why he is the absolute face of boxing out of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. This man is unreal. And I'm just saying that he is 100% every bit of the best in the fight game today. And I'm very proud of him. I've been a fan of him for a long time. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of a lot of fighters. One of my all-time favorite fighters ever, and I would have loved to have seen this fight. I would have loved to have seen it. Of course, with Canelo being as young as he was, there's no way he would have went up to this weight at all, and he would have clearly gotten beat, I'm sure. But Andre Ward is one of my all-time favorite fighters. I would have loved to have seen that fight if the ages would have matched up a little bit better, but there you go. But yeah, once again, Andre Ward retired when he wanted to under his terms, and I thought that was a good thing. But anyway, I digress. But there's some of the elites out there that I will forever just be like, this is one of the faces of boxing. The great Muhammad Ali, absolutely. Fighters like George Foreman. Fighters like Lennox Lewis. Fighters like Duran. Fighters like these immortal names. Floyd Mayweather, immortal. You cannot erase these names from the books. And now Canelo has etched his name along these all-time great fighters. Those men will never die. And now it is awesome to see this young man who we've all watched grow up in front of our eyes into this amazing fighter he is today. Well, here he is amongst the elite, as Marcus says in the chat room, elite. And yes, he is elite. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so freaking excited for what's to come for him. And well, let's just see how it goes. So, there you have it. A little bit of boxing talk. I do want to get a little more into boxing because there are some fights coming up here. This one is one to circle. I am so gosh damn excited for this fight coming up in a couple of weeks. And this is going to be Las Vegas pay-per-view. Marcus, if you're listening, I know you're going to be excited for this one. Bud freaking Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford, in my opinion, is probably the best welterweight. It is so hard to pick between him and Errol Spence. It is so hard. Both of those guys deserve so much credit. But this welterweight division is like one of my all-time favorite divisions ever in any freaking realm of boxing. In any era. Okay? Bud Crawford will be taking on Sean Porter. Sean Porter, he's getting up there a little bit in age, but so is Bud Crawford. There are no spring chickens no more, but they're definitely still in their prime, I believe, or at least pretty damn close to it. Till this day, I will argue that in 2016, Sean Porter beat Thurman in that crazy fight. But I will tell you right now, Thurman's still one of the absolute best. You have guys like Danny Swift, Errol Spence. Pacquiao has now retired. But I'm just saying, amazing welterweight division. And Bud Crawford will be taking on Sean Porter coming up on the 20th. I am so damn excited for this fight because I really think Sean Porter is going to... You have two different kind of fighters. You have Crawford, the orthodox, the lefty. Well, kind of. I don't know if he's really a lefty, but the guy can fight both ways. He's amazing. The dude is an absolute phenom, and he's proven himself. All right, he's the fighting pride of Nebraska. You know what I mean? Nebraska's seen better days in football, but he is absolutely a solid fighter and one of the best we've seen for sure in this welterweight division throughout this era. There's no doubt about it. Shawn Porter is another guy. He's a brawler. Shawn Porter is my kind of fighter. Kind of scary at the same time. But Shawn Porter is the kind of guy that doesn't care how many times he gets punked. He's going to punch you more times. Like, that's about it. Like, he doesn't even have a guard. Like, seriously, Shawn Porter will take all you can give and give it right back. Like, he's a brawler. Now, is that the smartest way to fight? Maybe not. But Shawn Porter will throw him. I mean, that's all there is to it. He's aggressive. He's a bulldog. Sometimes it doesn't pay off so well when he faces somebody that's very skilled. Somebody like Floyd Mayweather will take advantage of all those punches and literally just make you miss and then make you pay. I'm not calling Shawn Porter reckless by far, but I'm just saying he can be. But that kind of feeds into... I'm sorry, it doesn't really feed into Crawford because Crawford's more of a technical yet knockout power type of fighter. So Shawn Porter has a knockout power, and he's going to give you the knockout power in every freaking punch he throws. That's just how well he fights. But once again, it comes with consequences. And on top, but to counter that, Crawford a little more technical. Regardless, he has a knockout power. But I kind of feel like he'll fight this fight the way that Porter wants to fight it. I kind of feel like Crawford has a tendency to be a brawler. He does. He has a tendency. He has great feet. He has a tendency to throw them. And I kind of felt like if Porter wants to bang, Crawford's not going to freaking not answer the call. I mean, I think Crawford's going to freaking sling him too. This is going to be a hell of a fight. I am so damn excited for this fight, you guys. So please, circle it on your calendars. We're looking at November 20th. That's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. These two guys are going to freaking scrap, and it's going to be a good one. Like, seriously, that's a great fight. So that's one coming on up here. We have a couple of them, of course, here. Teofimo Lopez taking on George Campos coming on up here. That's on the 27th. And, just some good stuff coming up. So that's probably, like, the biggest, I think, like, the last big one of the year. Really, I don't see anything too much unless we get a little further. I don't know. Let me take a look here if there's anything else. Yeah, I don't see much. Lomachenko fights in December, but I've never heard of the guy he's fighting. Yeah, so it kind of looks like this might be it, unless there's something I'm really missing. But for right now, at least, I am positive, Marcus will check me in the chat room, but I'm almost positive that that's probably the last big headliner of 2021. But still, it's going to be a great one to see. Marcus says here in the chat room, Shawn Porter will bring out the best in Crawford. I completely agree. He will get in Crawford's guts and force him to bang. Absolutely. No, he will. Crawford is that, Porter's that guy. Porter's that freaking that dog that won't leave you alone. Like, he's going to be on you. And, that's just it. Porter is a dog, man. Like, I don't even care. Let somebody challenge me on that, man. Like, I'll just show you his fights. The guy is a freaking scrapper. Like, From when that bell rings, he gets deranged, man. All he knows how to do is rock 'em, sock 'em robots, man. Exactly what Marcus says here. He says, this is going to be a rock 'em, sock 'em robot fight. And it really is, Marcus. It really is, brother. I completely agree. These guys are going to go at it. I am so excited that both these guys are being put together. I would love to see after this. I want a Thurman and Porter fight too. I would love for that fight to happen again. I would also really love to see Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fight. That would be a very technical, very fun fight to watch. Two men with very good feet. I feel like, oh man, we're so spoiled with this welterweight division. I love this welterweight division. And even though Pacquiao did retire, because it was definitely time, and Floyd Mayweather did retire, we have two of the best in all time in boxing there, of course. Pacquiao, another big name in fighting. that will never die. Well, it's kind of cool, to see that we have, all these great fighters still around, even though some of the elders have retired. So, yeah, I completely agree, Marcus, and this is going to be a hell of a fight. So, please, everybody, circle it on your calendars. Coming up next Saturday, I'll be previewing the heck out of that. Might have Marcus on for that one, because, man, this is going to be a fight. Like, I am so damn excited for that fight, and we'll see how it goes. So, with that said, we're going to take ourselves a short break. When we get back, we got plenty more sports going on right here on the Defining Moments on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernick, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Alright, sports fans, we have like 20 minutes to get through so much, and another segment of the show. So, talking a little bit of hockey, I'll tell you guys right now, the Lightning, very much the Lightning. They have played extremely well so far this year. The freaking Florida Panthers. I mean, I am so impressed right now with this team. Knocking off the Hurricanes today, 5-2. Solid freaking team, and that's just how they want it. That's what I'm talking about. Both these teams going head-to-head yesterday at the top of Metropolitan and the top of the Atlantic. Solid freaking game. And, well, it's awesome to see these two types of teams going head-to-head here. Amazing hockey from both of them. Over to the West real fast, and like I told you, we're going real fast, you guys. You guys want more hockey in the Neutral Zone with Mr. Adam Karnick and Mr. Zachary Puplis on Tuesday evenings. You want to catch it, but we have here in the Central the Blues rearing their heads because, well, the Blues have certainly 100% without a doubt they've proven they can win a title in the last 5 years. And guess what? They have also shown that, we still got it. Very solid team. Minnesota right behind them. And then Edmonton. Hey, Edmonton! I'm really happy for this team right now because, damn it, they have a solid team. And Connor McDavid, one of the best freaking players of this generation, is a part of this team. Seeing them so strong makes me really happy because, well, at the end of the day, they are certainly deserving of it. So, going on here in the NHL today, we got some great ones. Golden Knights taking on the Red Wings. This should be a solid game. Predators and Blackhawks. Islanders and Wild. Blues and Ducks. And Stars and Canucks. Solid across the board. Got some great games going on today. Moving on into the NBA. Well, is it fair to say that Philadelphia is just going to be a front runner all season? No, it's not, because it's just the start of it. But I will tell you right now, I seriously do feel like Philadelphia is going to be around. They've proven so much in these first couple of games. I know it's a long season. I don't really care, though. Very, very great basketball, you guys. They've won some damn good games. So whether you want to criticize them or not, Philly's actually done extremely well this year. Yes, they've lost some games. It's basketball. There's never been an undefeated basketball season. Okay, I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, the 76ers right now are looking solid, and I think they could actually, if they can keep this up and stay uninjured, which is probably the hardest thing in the world to do on a team, but they're looking good. Beating the Bulls last night, very good team. Well, not the Bulls, but the 76ers are looking pretty solid. So, we have them right now. The Heat actually playing extremely well, and the Bulls, well, like I said, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going to eat some crow right now, because, well, the Bulls are actually third place in the East right now, which is kind of surprising me. So, pretty solid here. But the biggest surprise right now in the East is Milwaukee, Boston, and Atlanta all not doing so great. It's early, I get it, but it's like, wow, did they stumble out of the gates or what, man? Seriously, I can say the same thing for the Lakers in the West, which is where we're going to go right now. Both the Lakers and the Clippers are out to the playoffs right now. I know we're only 10 games in, or like somewhere right around there, what do you do? But I'm just saying, you guys, it's kind of weird. Kind of weird when you see, these teams here just not where they should be. Regardless, I digress. Anyway, Golden State just looking dominant as per usual. Very strong team here, and they've been dominating. Utah is looking sharp as always. Phoenix, can they make the run like they did a couple years back? Or last year, I'm sorry. Can they do it? Dallas, another solid team. Guys, this is going to be some fun stuff coming up here in the NBA season. I mean, we have no idea who's doing what. Yesterday, Rockets and Nuggets went head-to-head. A 1-point game there for the Nuggets. Great stuff. Also, Lakers drop one to the Trailblazers. So, yeah, and the Mavericks knock off the Celtics. So, yeah. Today, we got Nets and Raptors, Cavaliers and Knicks, Jazz and Magic, Bucks and Wizards, Pacers and Kings, Spurs and Thunder, Rockets and Warriors, and Hornets and Clippers. We shall see how it goes. So, with that said, let's continue things on here with a little bit of college sports, shall we? So, you always know how I love to just kind of roll through this really fast. I know, it's a little too fast sometimes for comfort. My apologies. But I gotta love the college sports. We gotta throw around the college sports a little bit here. So, coming up yesterday, solid games, plenty of great games. In men's hockey, man, we had an upset. Merrimack will knock off number 15 Boston College 4-3 on the road. Talk about a victory there. Very good game. Cornell and Dartmouth, Ivy League schools going head-to-head, and 5-4. Number 14, Cornell gets a victory on the road. A pretty good game. Then we had a ranked battle. Number 13, Denver, dropping one to number 10, UND. The North Dakota Fighting Hawks, solid there. Number 1, St. Cloud State, continues to show why the Huskies are such a great freaking dominant team. Knocking off Colorado College 4-1. So we have a couple of those games. We have the Paul Bunyan game, if you will. I know it's not football, but it's on the ice. Number 4, Michigan will knock off Michigan State 3-2 on the road. But what a freaking great game! Great hockey when these two get together. But yeah, solid stuff there. All right, next up, taking a look at women's hockey from last week. This was pretty solid. Number 11, Missouri State over Loyola, 2-1. And, well, number 20, Santa Clara over Portland, 3-1. Solid stuff there. We had an upset, too, y'all. Air Force, the Air Force Academy. Hats off to those ladies out there getting down, man. Defeating number 17, Grand Canyon. So, yeah, solid stuff there going on. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that was women's hockey. My apologies. That's men's soccer. My apologies, you guys. That's a blip on my end. Wow, who feels like an idiot? Okay, let's do that again. Number 20. I was about to say, so many schools have hockey. That's crazy. But anyway, so, yeah. So let's go back and forth to that, of course. We have here, as I mentioned, number 17, Grand Canyon, dropping one here to Air Force, 2-1. And Portland will lose to number 20, Santa Clara. In women's soccer, number 15, Santa Clara, because Santa Clara is really good at soccer. They will defeat St. Mary's 2-1. We have an Ivy League battle as number 22, Brown, knocks off Yale 3-2. After that, Pepperdine, number 16, Pepperdine, and number 12, BYU go at it. Number 12, BYU gets the better, as number 14, Stanford will knock off Cal 3-1, and once again BYU over Pepperdine 1-0. Women's volleyball action. Down goes number 1, number 10 Baylor. A Texas battle going on here. 3-1 as the Baylor Lady Bears will knock off the Longhorns. How about that? Solid stuff there. Number 9 Nebraska. Wow, their woes are just ouch. That was a tough one. Get straight sweep, man. 3-0. Number 7, Ohio State knocks off Nebraska. Ouch. Yeah, totally not a very fun thing for them, I'll tell you right now. So, solid stuff there. What we got going on today in the world of college sports? Take a little look at it. We got some things going down here. So, men's soccer today. Let's see if we have any ranked on ranks. And we do. A big one to watch. Number 18, North Carolina taking on number 9, Clemson. That tournament is getting real close, you guys. We are in November. So, yeah. The tournament, I think it's like a week away. So, shall we see? Next up here, we had in women's volleyball. No ranked on ranks. At least I don't see as of right now. But I will tell you right now, we do have some dang good battles. Number 13, UCLA taking on Colorado. Also, we see here, number 2, Louisville taking on North Carolina. Another solid team there. And we do have, we got a chat here. Terrence says here, number 11, Minnesota also beat number 7, Ohio State on Friday, and UCLA outlasted Utah to stay ahead of the Pac-12 standings. Ladies and gentlemen, this is heating up. The volleyball season is amazing. If you're not into volleyball, you guys got to get with it, man, because seriously, there's some great stuff going on that court. So great stuff going there today. And then women's field hockey, we have number 14, Virginia taking on number 10, North Carolina. So a little bit of college action for you guys today. Last but not least, let's go around the world in soccer. Earlier today, I'll tell you right now, this was kind of a weirdo. I don't know. Arsenal and Watford, 1-0 victory there for Arsenal earlier, but really nothing too crazy this past weekend, except for, maybe a derby where Manchester City will knock off Man U 2-0 on the road. Yeah, there's some very angry yet happy people in Manchester right now. Terrence says, noteworthy NCAA women's volleyball match today, in my opinion. Florida State at number 14, Georgia Tech. Number 13, UCLA at Colorado, Ole Miss. And let's see here. And Ole Miss at RV Colorado, that is. Ole Miss at number 22, Tennessee. Arizona State at number 21, Washington State. So, absolutely, Terrence, I love this, man. Marcus is my brother. Terran is the Howard Cosell of volleyball coverage. He absolutely is, man. And last but not least, Terran chimes in, though Arizona State got swept by Washington on Friday, snapping their 5-match winning streak. So, incredible. Telling y'all, at the end of the day, that's what we do here, y'all. iSports Radio. We are your direct feed for all that is sports. Back to a little bit of soccer action. Everton, y'all. Knocking Everton and Tottenham. 0-0 draw. And well, I've already gotten into it a little bit. But, you know, I just love to do that soccer press portion of the show to some upbeat music. So let's do this. Time for the soccer press portion of the show, a very condensed version, but let's get to it. Right now, this current top 5 is looking crazy. Arsenal, we have West Ham, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Chelsea still leading with 26. My goodness, man. Talk about a great one. Arsenal with 20, West Ham with 20, Liverpool with 22, Manchester City with 23, and Chelsea with 22 or 26. Overall, strong performances by these teams in the Premier League. Next up, we're moving on into the Bundesliga. Man. Did we have some great games this weekend or what? Red Bull, Leipzig, and Dortmund go head-to-head as Leipzig knocks off Dortmund 2-1 at home. Yeah, Bayern Munich will defeat Freiburg 2-1 as well. And, well, that just says a lot because right now Munich leads the charge now by 4 points. Dortmund by 4. They are not letting go. They are within 4 points, but man, it's like watching a NASCAR race in the final laps. And the second place car has draft, but not too close, but not too far back, and they're staying real close, you guys. This is going to be fun. We have that, of course, going down. But we have here, let's see, the current top 5. Red Bulls with 18. Another solid team. Wolfsburg, 19. Freiburg with 22. Dortmund with 24. And Munich with 28. After that, we're going to dive right into the Italian Serie A. Yesterday, we had Juventus defeating Fiorentina 1-0. Why is that important? Because Juventus is number 8. Yeah, kind of weird to see this team not being strong. But Napoli, how about this team, man? They are getting down in just about, well, actually, they're starting right now. Which should be a solid match. Napoli leading with 31 points. And then the next two teams are interesting for a reason. Oh, gee, I don't know. Maybe because it's the derby. Inter Milan and AC Milan go head-to-head today at 11:45 a.m. Pacific Time, 2:45 p.m. Eastern. Yes! Let's go Forza Inter! I am so freaking excited for that. That is second and third right now. AC with 31 and Inter Milan with 24. Atalanta with 22 and Roma with 19. I am so excited. Ready to rock and roll, man. Because today's game is going to be a solid one, man. Inter Milan, AC Milan. Yes, you gotta love a derby. Going over to the Spanish La Liga, of course. The current top 5, Betis with 21, Atletico Madrid with 22, Sevilla with 24, Real Sociedad with 25, and Real Madrid with 27. Kind of weird that Barca has 17 and they're in 9th place, but that's what happens. Hey, sometimes it's the rule. The winds have changed, I guess, right? But solid games here. Barcelona and Celta Vigo with a draw yesterday, and Real Madrid defeats Rayo 2-1. So, telling you guys, man, this is a great year to follow soccer because, well, we're not getting freaking dominating teams just beating everybody, unless you go to Ligue 1. Where PSG is 10 points ahead right now at the current second place Lens. 34 points there. Lens with 24. Nice with 23. Marseille with 23. And Rennes with 19. PSG leads by 10 once again with 34 points, and they're probably going to pull away very soon. Am I sitting here talking crap about the league? No. But am I saying it sucks that there's not competition there besides PSG? Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Regardless, I don't know. We can only hope that there'll be good competition in Liga coming up, but we'll find out. Anyway, that's about that for, by the way, PSG played yesterday and defeated Bordeaux 3-2. But, man, that was a pretty good game, actually. So, there you go. I'm almost in competition. Anyway, you already heard about Decision Day in the MLS. And so let's head on over to the NWSL. We're getting close here. Saturday is the last, actually, this is the last day. Chicago taking on Gotham, and Washington taking on Carolina today. The table is almost set. The top 4 go, I believe, or top 6. Regardless, from the entire league, Portland with 44. OL Reign with 42. Washington with 39. Chicago with 38. Gotham with 35. And the top 6, of course, we have the Courage with 33. Weird does not see them towards the top right now. Houston with 32, Orlando with 28. Next up, 20, we have Racing Louisville FC with 22, and Kansas City with 16. The once great Kansas City, man. Ouch. But we'll see. So, moving forward, playoffs start next week. And, well, Oral Reign and Portland are both in, and they'll wait to see who they're going to face as their decision day is pretty much going down. So who's going to get it today? We will see. Once again, Washington with 39, Chicago with 38, Gotham with 35, and I think it's a little too far-fetched there. Actually, it's too far-fetched for all those teams. Washington and Chicago, pretty much I think it's been decided, but we'll find out who goes where coming up in the NWSL. And then, of course, last but not least, let's go ahead and let's let the music linger, let it just kind of fall off real quick. Talk a little bit of Liga MX, of course. Pretty solid little, league down south here. As we have the final week of this season, I believe. The Mexican soccer is so weird, you guys. They have the Apertura and the Clausura. This one, of course, playoffs begin next week, I believe. But coming up for today, let's see here. We do have 2 games as UNAM takes on Cruz Azul and Santos takes on San Luis. So there we go. The current top 5 right now. We have Toluca with 24, UNL, Las Tigres with 28, Leon with 29, Atlas with 29, and America with 35. So yeah, I guess shows that that's the end of this right here. So we're going to see who's going on into the playoffs, I believe. So anyway, there you had it for a little bit of soccer press action. And last but not least, I'm going to leave you guys with this before, of course, the final segment. In NASCAR, today is the day, and I kind of just have to get a little crazy here at the end because, damn it, why not? Ladies and gentlemen, we have some racing going on today, and it's going to be good. Real good! The NHL Finals next week in Pomona. I really hope we can go. We'll find out. I don't know. But it's going to be awesome. Okay. After that, we have here Formula 1. You guys know all about it already. It's a close one. Hamilton, Verstappen. The points are close. It's going to be a battle, you guys. It's all going down in just a little bit. As we're getting to the last 5 freaking races, I think. We're so close. An hour and 47 minutes away, according to the Formula 1 app. Verstappen leads with 287.5. Lewis Hamilton, 275.5, right behind him. The Mexican Grand Prix. And, well, it's going to be a battle. I am so excited, you guys. We are getting down to the last couple of races. We have here Brazil, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi. And of course, we have some Pro Championship events in there. I don't know if they actually count towards it, but we're getting real close to the end of the season, and every single race counts, especially for these 2 drivers. So, we will find out. In NASCAR, today, it is coming down to the wire. Today is the day, you guys. Talk about decision day. It's the day, you guys. It's the day. Overall, I gotta tell you guys one thing. That we have ourselves a little duel in the desert. At 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern, at the Phoenix Raceway ISM. And then there were 4. That's all there is to it, you guys. And then there were 4. The entire NASCAR season comes down to this today. And, well, we're going to see who's who. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., and Denny Hamlin. These 4 drivers will go head-to-head today. Head-to-head. And we will have our champion by the end of this race. It's very simple. Finish ahead of the other, and you will win it. Even if one of these drivers finish 9th, as long as the other drivers finish behind them, they win it all. We'll find out today at ISM. Should be a great race, you guys. We shall see. Alrighty. I want to connect this one to Damn Son. Of course, the final segment of the show. Because, well, yeah, no. It's going to be a fun one. Yesterday, some great football. Taryn and I talked plenty about that on College Edition. But congratulations to the number 4 Oregon Ducks. They got it done yesterday, defeating the Washington Huskies. Closer game than I would think, 26-16. But, once again, you want more college football? Well, you're going to know where to go. You got to know where to go, of course. College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio. Taryn not talking plenty there. A little bit of NFL action for you here today. And I'm going to give you my picks and why. Because, well, you know, I like giving my picks. So, really quick, you guys. We all knew what was going to happen the other day. The Colts knocking off the Jets. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? Like, the Jets fought, but cool. Colts knocking off the Jets 45-30. So for today, here are my picks and why. Very fast, so I got 2 minutes to do this. The Browns over the Bengals. Why? Because I feel like the Browns actually, you know what, you guys? I'm sorry. I'm going to actually go Bengals over the Browns. The Browns are a little bit in shambles right now. There's a little bit of weirdness going on. This is going to be a really good fight to the end. But I just have this, the Bengals are riding momentum right now. The Browns are on a little bit of a downslope. I'm going Bengals in this one. Should be close, but should be fun. Broncos and Cowboys. To me, this is a no-brainer. The Cowboys are clearly the better team. And there you go. Texans and Dolphins. Here's the toilet bowl, you guys. I'm seriously just going to go with a team who's a little more complete and, the home team, basically. So, fins up, y'all. Next up, Falcons and Saints. I want to say it's going to be a good game, but I feel like the Saints are actually going to expose. I seriously feel like there's nothing to expose. The Falcons aren't even a solid team. But the Saints are just going to kind of go off, I think. Probably second half. It should be close for the first half. Raiders and Giants. As much as I can't stand my team, I always pick them because, this is what I do. But I think we should actually win this game today with the Giants, even if it's on the road. Patriots and Panthers. This is actually a solid game. I'm going to go Patriots just because they're the Patriots, but damn it, the Panthers should fight them very well. Bills and Jags. Well, that's a no-brainer. Bills all day long. Vikings and Ravens. 2 purple teams go head-to-head. Yay! But the Ravens are the better purple team because the Vikings don't know what's going on right now. Chicago. Chargers and Eagles. If the Chargers don't win this game, seriously, the Eagles are kind of falling apart. They're okay. They find their identity. The Chargers, young quarterback, solid team. They should win this game. Packers and Chiefs. Hey, Super Bowl 1, cool. Okay, at the end of the day, the Chiefs actually have a solid chance because there's no Aaron Rodgers. COVID, yeah, kind of crazy. I'm going Chiefs in this one. Next up, get well soon, Rodgers. With that said, Cardinals and Niners. Hey, that should be fun. That should be so much fun, right? Not really. I seriously think the Cardinals are probably going to stomp on the Niners, but we'll find out. Anyway, next up, Sunday Night Football, Titans and Rams. This is actually going to be a solid team. Now, why did I say this game was going to be close in the first half? Well, at the start of the show. Well, because I feel like it's actually going to be a really good game. And really, right now, there's no Henry. The Rams are just ramping up their defense. You got Von Miller. I seriously feel like the Titans have a very good chance of winning this if they can actually play really good defense versus this offense. They can contain this Rams offense, but there's a big problem. If they can't, the Titans will fall on their face. So, the line, it's 7.5 in favor of the Rams, but I got to tell you this right now. I just don't see the Titans winning this thing without Derrick Henry. It's kind of tough. I know they got Adrian Peterson now. That's cool. Legendary player. But at the end of the day, you guys, Rams all day in this one. And then, of course, we have here Monday Night Football, Bears and Steelers. Overall, you guys, I want to say it's going to be a solid game. We don't know what we're going to get in this thing. The Bears are trying really hard to find their identity as well, kind of like the Eagles. They're better than the Eagles, but they're not too much better. And the Steelers, well, they're a little more complete. They're old. Big Ben's just, he's old. Whatever. I don't know. The Steelers are just the better team, in my opinion. I think they'll win it by like a very thin margin, but I'm going to go Steelers in this case. So, anyway, Darren says here, the Jets fought all right in garbage time. Yeah, no to it today, but Brisket, my gosh, should get the win from Miami. Well, I didn't even know that, but there you go. Chargers have been banged up in terms of the secondary, but they should win. If not, making the playoffs could be a lot tougher for them, absolutely. Most likely no Von Miller, but the Rams will win. Aaron Donald with the feast on Daniel. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Donald. With Von Miller, I saw something like that the other day, but it is what it is. I still think that, the Rams should win this game. So anyway, you guys, a little bit of action there, but it's time time to get into a little segment that I just love. And, of course, hence the name of today's show, Pure Awesomeness. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Damn Son! Ladies and gentlemen, there was a play in yesterday's North Dakota State, South Dakota State game that was incredibly awesome. The ball was snapped. It looked like the ball was actually fumbled. Designed to do this. Low snap. Ball goes to the running back. Everyone dives on the ball, but there's no ball. Over the top. And when we get a touchdown, South Dakota! Damn, son! I am sorry, but that was one of the coolest freaking plays I've ever seen in the history of football. The center direct snaps this thing between the quarterback's legs. It looked like a freaking either a sneak or a fumble, you guys. The defense just jumps all over it, and the freaking tight end, man. Homeboy gets right into the end zone. It's like he could have walked in, you guys. And what happens? There was a score for the Jacks. And the freaking Jacks, man. What a play. Nobody covered this tight end. And it was just amazing. Probably one of the coolest plays I've ever seen. You can't... this is stuff you just can't script in a movie. I mean, they, of course, designed this thing, but way to go, man. Now, I'll tell you right now, the creativity of this play was probably one of the coolest. I mean, you know what? Because I understand. You have to, why not? Why not design things, of course, that are designing plays off of, like, mistakes? Why not? Football players know if the ball's to the ground or it's a sneak, the first reaction is to go with it. So why not take full advantage of that and trick people with it? We've seen trick plays in the past, but this is one of my favorites ever. The ball gets direct snapped right to Pierre Strong Jr. Strong, man, will just load up and damn, son! Pierre Strong to Tucker Kraft. Number 85, the tight end, man. Just what a job. I mean, seriously, what a job. And that was in the second quarter, okay? At the end of the first quarter, the Jacks were leading, actually, 14-7. That was in the second quarter to go up 21-7 with 2:17 left. The extra point was good by Cole Fram. And then at the half, it was 25-7 South Dakota. After that, end of the third quarter, 27-14. Final score in the fourth quarter, the Bison did come back a little bit in this one, and they scored a safety as well as a field goal. But regardless, you guys, 27-20. How about that, y'all? South Dakota State. Congratulations to the Jackrabbits, man. That was amazing. That was amazing. Why is this so significant? Because, you guys, that's what I'm talking about. South Dakota State has been in the shadows of North Dakota State for over a decade now. North Dakota has fallen from grace, it seems. I mean, who knows where they'll be next year, but this year, the Jacks are doing it, and I would love to see the Jacks win a title. I think they can go far. They have a strong team. This is awesome. So, yeah, you guys, I love it. Great stuff. Pure awesomeness. Well, you know what that means. It's about that time to cue the music and get on out of here for today. Terrence says, damn son, should have been Arizona beating Cal. Yes, and I get that. Snapped a 19-game losing streak. He says, though Cal had 20-some players out with COVID protocols, which sucks. And absolutely, that's a candidate. But this one was just too great. This was one of the coolest plays I've ever seen. And just goes to show you that South Dakota came in with a game plan. They were going to fight, scratch, and claw their way to win this thing. And North Dakota didn't even know what hit them. Just an amazing, in North Dakota State, by the way, because yes, there is North Dakota and South Dakota University, of course, the universities of. So the two state schools, of course, going at it. Always a big rivalry in that freaking game. Always a big rivalry. And yes, Taryn, 20-game losing streak. Sorry, my apologies. I love Taryn, but the correctiveness, my gosh, I'm just playing for that. I'm just playing. But with that said, man, awesomeness going on, of course, even in that game. But yes, having a 20-game losing streak for Arizona. Hats off to the Wildcats. But man, you gotta love that play. South Dakota gets it done. Talk about a great victory, and I am so excited, man, for this team moving forward. I really hope South Dakota makes a deep run, man. I hope so. Like, seriously, I really hope South Dakota makes a deep run. Terrence says, the longest in the Pac-12 history. Well, there you go. Good for the Wildcats, but even better for the Jacks. I'm sorry. But good job to the Jacks, and I hope that they make a deep run. With that said, you guys, this has been the show. And it has been a fun one, man. A very, very, very fun show. As, of course, talked a lot of boxing, talked a lot of everything. So we shall see. Moving into today, lots of great sports, all kinds of goodness coming our way. Daylight saving times. Hopefully you all enjoyed your extra hour, because I know, I did. It was great. But with that said, big ups to our sponsors. The SoCal Warriors. Yesterday, unfortunately, I was not able to play. I was sick. But as you can see, I'm getting over it, but feeling a little bit better. But the Disciples will get that victory over the Warriors, and the Warriors will be eliminated. So that's it until next fall. But great stuff. 4-7 on the season, snuck in the playoffs even with 2 losses. But league things happen, and well, we still got in. Bummer I only got to play in 3 games this year, but hey, at the end of the day, I will never in a million years regret making money and supporting my soon-to-be wife and holding up our apartment and all that, instead of playing football. So, priorities, but, mad love to the Warriors, as the Riverside Disciples will move on to face, I'm not sure who won between the Kings and the Vegas Panthers, but I do know that it should be a good game in the final for the PCFC this year. So, that's going to do it. Big ups once again to the SoCal Warriors. Make sure to follow the Warriors at SoCal Warriors on Twitter, at Southern California _Warriors on Instagram, and at Southern California Warriors on Facebook. Also, Background Check International. Kit Freeman is the man. He is the man. If you need a background check for your professional, of course, for your good stuff moving forward in the hiring process, make sure you hire in the right people, y'all. Background Checks International. And, of course, not used for anything illegal. All legal stuff, you guys. So, yeah. Kit Freeman's the man. www.bcint.com. And also, make sure to check him out on Facebook at Background Checks International space BCI. This has been me, your boy Larry B. You can follow me on Twitter at the THEE_LB53 on Twitter. Show us some love at iSports Radio, at iSports Radio on Twitter, Instagram, at iSports Radio. And please give us a like on Facebook. We certainly like that at iSports Radio. I'll see you guys next week. And absolutely, Taryn, you got to see me play. I got to meet you in person, brother. You're the man. I love you, man. You're the real deal. So I'm glad you got to be there. That is it, you guys. I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Right here at iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.